I often get asked if these can still do daily activities. This is a white iMac. They stopped making them in 2007. This one has I believe a 1.82 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo CPU, 64 megabytes of video RAM, and 2 gigabytes of DDR2 SD RAM. It runs OS X Lion 10.7.5. That's as far as it'll go. There are versions of Chrome that will still go on it. But basically, Safari, if you like Safari, it's toast. Don't even try it. Now, I get asked a lot because I do sell various Macintosh products. It's a hobby of mine. I like restoring them and selling them. People often want to know, hey, can I use these? And the answer is kind of. So let's see if in 2019, this can still be used as a daily machine. Are you ready? Let's check it out. All right, here we are. As you can see, we've got Google Chrome here. I'm surfing as a guest. So let's see. Can we pull up Google? We can. It pulls up Google fast. Let's do a search. You want to search for... Let's search for YouTube. Yeah, you got your auto suggestions that pull up. It does YouTube. It's pretty snappy for 2 gigs of RAM. So as you can see, it pulls everything up just fine. Can you watch a video is the question. That's going to be the deal breaker, right? Because if you can pull up YouTube, it doesn't matter. You have to be able to watch YouTube. So I don't know many of you who want to pull up YouTube and not watch a video. So let's check it out. We'll pull up one of mine. Because of course we will. You'll forgive me, I'm typing with one hand here. All right. Is it going to pull anything up? Why, it might. And look at that, there's my channel. And here's an old video here. And we're on Chrome, so yeah, as you can see, it pulls it up. Turn the volume down just a little bit. Yeah, everything works. We go into theater mode. You can. Can you go into full screen? Absolutely. Yeah, you can go into full screen. Yeah. So as you can see, it renders video just fine. We're doing HD 720p. Will it go to 1080? Let's find out.
Yeah, well, it appears to be some kind of weird.
Yeah, it does. You don't really have a big problem. This is a 2006, 2007 machine.
I'm not sure if you have to click.
There's a little bit of lag here and there, but otherwise, it renders just fine. So we can get out of that. And like I said, it's not the snappiest machine. I won't log into Facebook because what's the point? But it will run Facebook and the latest websites just fine. You can still go to Facebook, look at it. A lot of these older machines, you'll see a bunch of errors and the page won't load correctly. It loads just fine. It often gives you a warning as soon as you sign on to Chrome that it's this is an outdated browser. It's not going to work. But it works fine. You can check out if you want to. We can see, as you can see, it's an Intel 1.83 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. It's running 10.7.5, as I said. 667 megahertz DDR2 SD RAM. So if you want to check that out a little further, just to verify what I said. Yeah, this is a late 2006 CD-ROM 17-inch iMac. So that means it's got a CD drive. I don't even think it's a CD burner. I think it's a CD are, but I could be wrong. Correct me on that, feel free. So like I said, you've got the Core 2 Duo, the 2 gigabytes of RAM. You've got a GMA 950 64 megabyte video, OS X Lion. It's updated to the latest software, so no issues there. And you know, it loads things just fine. I don't really have any photos or anything on here, I don't believe. I just now got the thing ready to go and updated. Well, there I am. Hi, everybody. Look at that. So as you can see, the web camera is not the best. Doesn't have the best webcam, but you know, it works, so whatever. Not too snappy. Everything loads like it's supposed to. Like I said, you do not want to go to Safari. I'll show you what Safari does under YouTube. It's not the best. Let's check it out. For some reason, I guess, you know, Chrome is a much more efficient operating system than this version of Safari. Let's check out my channel again, because of course we would. Why wouldn't we do that? And there I am. Feel free to subscribe. I have a new channel here. Got a few subscribers already. Thank you very much, by the way. So as you can see, it will load. It loads just fine. If you want to skip ahead.
That's fair enough.
It's 360p video, so if you go up to 720p, it's my experience that it slows to a crawl, but let's find out.
Yellow right now. So I'm guessing
it seems to work okay here, but it's not going to go up to 1080. It's just not going to do it. I watched a video the other day, and it just, yeah, as you see, you can see there, full screen is just a no for Safari. So use Chrome. And even if it says, hey, you can't get the latest version of Chrome, who cares? Get the older one. Now be aware that you're going to have security issues because this software is not being updated anymore. The operating system's not being updated anymore, so use it at your own risk.
What do you care about boxing no more? I'm silver.
So that's the issue here. Okay, so theater mode, it kind of goes into theater mode, so that works. But you're not going to get full screen with it. I watched a video earlier today in Safari, and it was slowed down to a crawl, so I'm actually surprised that it's doing this. Anyway, Safari, it sort of runs. I'd stick with Chrome. Got access to the App Store. Now you have to update to 10.7.5 to get access to the App Store. And you know, have it work correctly. A lot of this stuff will not download. That's a problem. You see Mojave there, you're not going to update to Mojave. It's just not going to happen. It's, you know, you're not going to be able to update to El Capitan or any of that stuff. You're stuck with Lion. Now, there are some programs out there that can get you to El Capitan on this machine. Unfortunately, you're not going to have video acceleration or any of that. It's going to run at a crawl. Garageband, I don't know if it'll install or not. You'll have issues here. You need 10.12, but the older version of Garageband is actually installed, and it works. You know, iPhoto, all that works. But let me check it out with your applications here. Let's go find that Garageband. Yeah, here it is. And I'm not going to run any emulators or ROMs on here, but you can do that. You can do NES, SNES, you can do all that. Pretty much anything that's like, I don't think you're going to run any PlayStation ROMs on here, but you know, anything from like Atari all the way up to Super Nintendo, maybe Nintendo 64, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, I have to download this huge thing. Yeah, GarageBand, the older version, runs on it. And it's pretty snappy. I actually sell these sometimes to people who want to get started learning how to use Mac. And Mac OS who want to get started with recording, because it runs Garageband. If you can find a super old version of Logic, like Logic 9, it'll run that just fine. From what I recall, I don't use that though. I have another Mac. I have a MacBook Pro from 2012 that I use to run the latest version of Garageband. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, an i5 CPU, runs it really well. But this will run, the older version of GarageBand. You can record demos and all sorts of things. It's fine. I'm going to let that do its thing. And even while that's downloading, as you can see, we've got Wi-Fi. This doesn't have Bluetooth, so if you want Bluetooth, you're going to need a Bluetooth dongle. And there are USB ports in the back that you can do that with. I have another version of this computer that does have Bluetooth built in. I don't have it set up though. I wanted to use this version. This is the oldest iMac that I have right now. It's from 2006. I thought it would be more interesting to use this in a video like this, because you want to know if it can access the internet. You want to know if it's acceptable for daily tasks. I mean, if you look, you can even log into iTunes, and I'm pretty sure Apple Music works as well. It's not the fastest. I'm pretty sure all that will work. And I don't have Apple Music, and I'm not signed in, so you're not going to be able to do that. But it works. So yeah, there's your Apple Music. Yeah, it works fine. So you can listen to Apple Music on this. It's got surprisingly good speakers. But yeah, it works great. There's no problems. If you wanted to use this as a daily machine, if you were just doing email, word processing, web browsing, watching a couple of YouTube videos, that wouldn't be a problem. You could do that. You could do it all day, every day. You could even do some light gaming on this machine if you wanted to, like I said, in the way of emulators and ROMs. For obvious reasons, we're not going to do that today. So there it is. We checked out the 2006 iMac, 2 gigs of RAM, 64 megabyte video card, Intel Core 2 Duo 1.83 CPU. It works fine for daily tasks. You shouldn't have a problem. This one's pretty cool. I got this for $45, and this wasn't the only thing that I got for $45. So that's pretty cool. I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace who was selling these. He had this, it came with the keyboard, it came with that, kind of crappy mouse. And if you can see the speaker system back here that I'm using for my Windows XP Pentium 2, that came with it. It's got bass boost and the subwoofer and all that cool stuff. And actually, it also came with a Power Macintosh 8500, a bunch of CRT monitors that I didn't keep because they were garbage. But it came with all of that for $45. So you're at under $10 a piece for each thing that I got from this guy. This particular Mac, I actually know a dude that sells them to me for $10. So I buy them for $10. I take them apart, I clean them, I recondition them. Sometimes I swap the hard drive out for an SSD. Really hard to do in these machines, but you can do it, and maybe I'll do a tutorial on that sometime. The RAM is as far as it'll go. I think this one only goes up to 2 gigs, so that's upgraded to the max. This one doesn't have an SSD. It actually has the original hard drive in it, and it's perfect. I wouldn't even need to swap it out. But all of that, I get these for $5 or $10. I buy stacks of them. Sometimes they're working, sometimes they're not, but I get the ones that can be fixed working. I recondition them, and I load them up with good software, and I typically sell them for $40 or $50 to people. And that's something that you can do, because these are all over the place right now. You can get them on eBay. You can probably get them from a seller on Amazon. You can get them anywhere. And you're not going to pay a lot of money for them. So if you just want a daily machine to learn Mac OS, learn how to use an Apple computer, it's pretty sleek looking. It looks nice. Looks good sitting on your desk. The keyboard's kind of gummy. I don't really like typing on it, but whatever. If you buy it on eBay, you might be spending $40 or $50, but you can usually get these locally on Facebook and Craigslist for almost nothing. But anyway, that's the 2006 iMac. I hope you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I come out with videos every week. And thank you again.